Suspect in NYC Federal Plaza attack was targeting ICE, authorities say. That's the headline that most locals picked up on Tuesday morning, and it's a story that's as chilling as it is complex. Let's dig into what happened outside 26 Federal Plaza in Lower Manhattan, why it matters, and what it means for the city and the nation. At just over 8:30 a.m., a man named Andrew Arabaka, 43, emerged from a cart outside the federal building. Arabaka, a former Army veteran who served as a missile systems mechanic from 2001 to 2005, carried with him not just a bag of axes, a hammer, a machete, and 3 knives, but also a manifesto, 2 air rifles and what investigators say looked like gasoline. He also unfurled a poster that read "ICE off our streets." In an interview with investigators, he described his intent openly. He said he was targeting the building, that he was okay with hurting people going in and out, whether they were federal employees or civilians. Federal protective officers and a security guard quickly secured the scene. By the time police arrived, Arabaka was already in custody. He had threatened passers-by, set a fire, ignited fireworks, and waved an air rifle. Though the FBI has not yet charged him, officials say that 2 officers who subdued him and an immigrant who was there for a status hearing suffered minor injuries. The building itself is more than just brick and glass. Google 26 Federal Plaza houses dozens of federal agencies, immigration courts, the local ICE field office, and other departments. That's why it has long been a flashpoint for protests. When President Trump returned to power last year and ramped up immigration enforcement, demonstrations at ICE facilities across the nation swelled. In New York City, protesters and elected Democratic officials have focused attention on the Lower Manhattan location, staging protests and, in September, getting arrested while attempting to access ICE custody cells. A month earlier, the building was briefly evacuated after authorities discovered envelopes that appeared to contain white powder. These repeated incidents underscore just how high the stakes are for the space. After Arabaka's attack, the building's routine was upended. A naturalization ceremony that had been scheduled for Monday had to be cancelled, and several agencies closed early. The building's occupants and many who frequent the plaza, from federal employees to the civilian public, now have to navigate a heightened sense of vigilance. The FBI's James Barnacle, the assistant director in charge of the Bureau's New York office, told reporters that Arabaka had 2 prior encounters with law enforcement. While details remain sparse, they reckon that Arabaka's prior brushes with the law may have set the stage for what he did matriculated earlier. What's particularly alarming is how Arabaka's actions tie into the national conversation about immigration enforcement. Why, sir? The tone of his manifesto and his unabashed threats defend a broader narrative that many activists are fighting against: an increasing criminalization of immigration policy and its enforcement. And the fact that his attack was so directly aimed at ICE places it in a lineage of violence that has escalated in recent years. The incident is a stark reminder of how volatile the intersection of immigration policy and public safety can be. The federal building was intended to serve all citizens, process their status, and uphold the law. In this case, a man with a Pentagon background took that structure and turned it into a stage for protest that spilled onto the public square. And as the federal building's doors gradually reopen, we'll keep a close eye on the fallout, legal proceedings, changes to security protocols, potential policy shifts, and the voices of those who continue to believe that ICE's presence on the streets needs to be reevaluated. That's all for today. Thanks for listening and stay tuned for more updates on this developing story. Good night.